Man, who remembers? Nelly was the best thing in the world after Nellyville. Took over St. Louis. It was one big Nelly fest. Then something happened. Like a bomb went off. Boom! Everybody was trying to be Nelly. That's what it seemed like. Translation: rappers from St. Louis was being put on a platform. As Nelly put out an album that went diamond. Diamond means 10 million records sold. So Nellyville became the biggest record by accident. After the Country Grammar album, no one else has ever assumed anything would ever be in the category as Eminem's The Marshall Mathers CD, which went diamond and sold 10 million records. So the two biggest artists that year was Eminem and Nelly. No one ever saw that coming. So all the St. Louis rappers started coming out, and it was three rappers in a group, and all three of these rappers young, and one of the rappers they know quite well, which was Chingy, and he was always around Nelly, and he had the best flow out of the three. Nelly wanted to separate the group and say, hey, like, if it was up to me, I'd just, sign homeboy right here. Now he ain't telling them to split up, but he putting a little filler out there that, yo, I see you coming up, man. And he was dressed up like, he was part of the St. Lunatic. So he comes ahead and start making all these different type of ideas, try to do some creative stuff like having the girls come on stage because they were the opening act. So Chingy was that rapper. Like Nelly used to say his verse and say, hey man, I heard what you said and that rhyme and that was dope. Made him feel good about himself. So they got chicks coming on the stage, and signing autographs for chicks, and stuff out like that. Nelly come through and shut that down because the younger girls was on there, and Nelly was like, "Man, ain't no chicks coming on there looking for y'all. Ain't sold one ticket. Nobody coming in there checking for them." But that's the way Nelly's side was looking at it. But when Nelly them felt a certain way, and this is gonna lead to another part of the situation, he signed with Disturbing the Peace and Luda as an independent artist and went over there. And people was like, "What? I thought he was with us. How he gonna up and go over there with Luda?" And he just left the group. So his boy, basically, Ali took the most offense to it because Ali was like, "Man, you was in my house," and Ali is a member of the Saint Lunatics Nelly crew. So this wasn't really a Nelly beef at all. Nelly wasn't concerned with it. Nelly was working on a Doe album at the time, and he wasn't really focused on this. And while all this is taking off, Ali was basically like, "Man, My wife used to be helping you cooking for y'all. Y'all used to sleep in my basement, in my house, and then you gonna go up and do this, jump up and go over there. So, but there was no problems. I repeat, nobody said a word until Chingy sold 1.5 million records. And when he had Right There, that was it. Right There became the biggest like hit of the summer. But Right There sounds like, some Nelly type song. I like it when you do that right there. So obviously, this is everybody's like, oh, he's with Nelly. Let me grab this CD. Oh, I remember him. He was with Nelly. And every interview he would shout out Nelly and the crew because that was part of his promotion. Then once his records started selling, he wasn't yelling out Nelly and them like that. He was, hey, they do their thing, I do my thing. I made it here on my own. Don't give them all the praise. Like they put everything in motion for me. Like I got this deal off my talent. And like you said, I ain't had not a diss to them. I'm just letting everybody know I got my deal on my talent. They took that as an offense, like, oh, he dissing us in the magazine. Like, man, how you gonna not give credit to those who paved the way? We paved the way for you to be there. So Nelly started really feeling himself at the time. He started acting imperialistic, like once he was like, I'm the Nelly, and acting big headed. So he thinking like, man, Lil Dirty was under us. He was on my tour, like head in the sky type guy. Now, these people all know each other. Ali calls Chingy and talking about he gonna put a bullet in his head when he see him and all this stuff. Because Ali is taking it there. And he was glad Nelly was finally on board. Because he was already upset about the situation. And then they got mutual friends, some that's cool with him and some that's cool with Chingy people. And Chingy homeboy who he used to rap with, they went and grabbed him and put him on a song. And I guess Murphy Lee or whatever felt a certain way. And they came out with a diss song against another member in their crew because these guys all know each other. And it had escalated far beyond anybody's imagination. So the uncle that raised one of the cousins that raised, they both got a mutual cousin, Nelly and Chingy. And his cousin raised Chingy almost, since he was like 6. So they ain't trying to let nobody was gonna mess with Nelly. Nobody was gonna mess with Chingy at that point. Nobody was gonna do nothing. But the disrespect factor, the crews were going at it. And both are from like St. Louis, very bad parts, like East St. Louis. So, and his guys they was rolling up on St. Lunatics and all them and Dirty, whatever, all them crew dudes they got, and it was bad. There was almost a situation with cars at a liquor store. They met at the red light, start getting into it. It was getting out of hand. And Nelly was in one of the cars. So that's not a good look. So it was gonna go down that night. And this is right after they had an altercation in Las Vegas where Chingy came and was like, look, man, let's end this craziness. Like this don't make any sense. Let's just go ahead and clear this and be done with it. And Nelly was still being standoffish. Like, I ain't create this, you did. Like you ain't trying to hear me, being imperialistic, being short and being cocky. He didn't want to be humble, so he was just like, all right, man, like they didn't get anywhere. Like he said, that conversation didn't get anywhere. So now he's like the beef escalated. It just got worse and worse. And he's like, Nelly comes out with this song, another one on the Sweat album off his double CD. He talking about some, I like it how you do it right there, but something like you got to pay honest to the people that did it right there or something like that. And he took that as a diss, and he tried not to, but people's like, Nelly's dissing. Nelly dissing Chingy, and then that stuff started exploding. And Nelly heard him come out with a diss song. He made a response diss song, Chingy did, dissing them. You don't like the way they like it the way I do it right there. Too bad you hating, boy, and all this stuff. It was not that good, if you ask me. But Nelly was like, oh, he comes out with a dissing song once his second single flopped. He's like, his second single he dropped flop. Now he's gonna come with a diss song. And he's like, all I'm saying is show some respect. That's all that song was saying. It wasn't a diss song. But now Nelly just don't care at that point. So the situation got squashed. Everybody's good once Nelly started to fall back to earth. Once he fell back to earth and Chingy fell off the planet, uh, things started to settle down. They started to realize, whoa, wait a minute. I was getting way out of my element. So, those things came to the forefront. But that was just the surface. Part two of this is going to go to what really started everything and who was the main general behind it all. Ludacris versus Nelly. That's part two of this. We'll do that in a little bit. I'm out.